Welcome to Module 2 of your Wales School of Wealth, Opening to Abundance. So I'd like to just do a quick check-in, see how everybody's doing, how last week went for them, if it brought up anything, if you've had any breakthroughs, any aha moments, any comments or celebrations or challenges. If you've got something, just go ahead and speak out.
I got something.
Okay, Mary, go for it.
Can you see this book? I found this at the dollar store. It says, "Keep calm and be a mermaid."
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm using it for my gratitude journal, but I'm feeling really guilty because I started off really well. I did it the first day, and then I didn't do it again until Saturday, and then I didn't do it again until this morning. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, is there an easy way to remember to do it before the day is over?
Yeah, I tend to pick a time, and one, I give you permission to not guilt yourself. Because life happens and gets in the way, and I realized in all my traveling, I missed mine for it was almost 10 days. It's like, oh no. But I tend to do mine first thing in the morning.
Okay.
So it's like, one of the very first things I do in my morning routine, like I get out of the shower, get done with my shower routine, get dressed, and then sit down and do my gratitude journal.
Okay.
So when I was staying at a friend's house, I would go out into their garden and do it, and it was really wonderful. Or, just set yourself a little time where, like, you're having your morning coffee or tea and do it.
Okay.
Or if you want to do it at the end of the day, it's the very last thing you do before you go to sleep.
Well, it's funny because I did it on Saturday, and then I looked at the clock and went, okay, it's not Sunday yet, so I can't do it. And then I thought I'll still be up, and then I fell asleep and never did it on Sunday. So.
I would not worry about rules,
Okay.
but this is great. I love that you're bringing this up, because you can do your gratitude journal when you feel grateful.
Okay.
And if that's 5 times a day, it doesn't matter. Or if it's, but it's important to try and do it once a day. If you end up skipping a day, don't worry, just pick it back up and start going again. So, and you could even, if there's a specific time of day, you could even set a reminder in your calendar or your phone.
Okay.
To just say, hey, 9 a.m. gratitude journal.
Now, I have another question too.
Sure.
So this morning, for the first time in many, many years, I did some automatic writing, but I'm just wondering, like, I could probably do automatic writing with the whales and the dolphins too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you could do automatic writing with the whales and dolphins, and you could also do it for in from a place of gratitude, and let your higher self come through on what you're grateful for.
Okay.
That could be really powerful.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you bet. Anybody else have a question, a celebration?
And it's Bonnie Blue. I just arrived.
Hey, Bonnie Blue.
Yay. So I'll try to figure out the video, but just wanted to say I do have to leave early on the meeting right around 2 to 10. So just letting you know about that. And I'm just so happy to be here with everyone and have lots of abundance happening to me too.
Yeah, you want to share a little bit about what's happening for you?
Okay. Well, it's actually so amazing that I can barely even believe it. But all this money has actually flowed to me, and I'm just so incredibly grateful for it. I was asked to help my friend who hurt her knee on the Bimini trip.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually been in service to her, and that's one of the reasons I'm late to the call. And she, so I'm in gratitude of that service, and she paid me in advance $1,000 plus $500 for 5 or 6 healings. And then last night I just so many things have just been flowing. I just can't even believe it. I'm just so full of gratitude for it. And then last night I was working at my gallery, and it's so interesting how whales work, because I have this bronze sculpture I'd made years ago, and it was one that I had made into a mermaid and a shell as well. So there's two of them, but the original bronze was there. And I just had this thought, I would love for this to go to a friend who loves feet, because this one happens to have the feet. And so, make a long story short, I sold a dolphin for $20. I was very happy with that. At the end of the day, 5 minutes before I closed the gallery, in runs his friend, and he just says, I want that sculpture, and I want that sculpture, and I'm going to pay full price, and I'm going to give you an extra $500. I was like, really? I was like, what? So he gave me $2,000. I have never, ever received this much in such a short period of time. So I'm just like in tears of gratitude, because I needed it so much. I'll pay off my bills and pay off my trip to Disney. And so I'm just like so full of joy and thankfulness and gratefulness for this. And I'm praying that I will continue to flow with this abundance to the whales, and to be able to give as much as I possibly can to others from the light of the whales and the dolphins that they give to me. And that's another reason I have to leave early. There's a woman coming for a healing right at 2:22, and she only has until 3:30. So much is happening. I don't want to take up too much of the call, but I'm just so thankful and so grateful, and standing in the light of the whales, and so grateful to you, Anne, for opening up this opportunity for flow and abundance.
That is so beautiful, Bonnie Blue. I'm so excited for you, and it's very inspiring, I'm sure, to the rest of us. It is to me that you're having such amazing experiences, and this abundance is just flowing in your door. So that's thrilling. So thank you so much for sharing with all of us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And love to all of you. And I want this flow of abundance to go to all of you. So this whole beautiful pod that you're creating here for this abundance class and the joy.
Thank you so much. That's really great. And don't worry about if you have to leave early, and share your gifts with the world. You can finish up with the recording if we go over at all. So it's all good.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, and you're not seeing all the chat comments because you're on the phone, but Denise says congrats, and Shirley says wow, and Mary says that's amazing. So good for you.
Yay.
Good for you. All right.
Okay.
Anybody else have
Another
it? Yeah, great. Perfect. All right. Carolyn would like to share.
It's not really sharing. Well, sort of. I have a question. I'm not on Facebook. Is that
okay? That's all right.
Detriment to the whole picture, or?
No, I mean, you have to do what's right for you, and not everybody is on Facebook. It's just a way to keep the flow going throughout the week, and little check-ins. There's not, a ton of stuff happening there. There is some, and it's fun, but it's not going to hurt you in any way. So it's just an added extra way to, I just do little posts, usually once a day, just something to keep people in the mindset of abundance. That's all. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I may have to check out. I'm in a little bit of pain today. I've got a lump in my breast, and it's
okay.
Today I'm sore. So if I disappear,
you're taking care of yourself, and self-care is part of abundance. So honor yourself, and we'll also include you in our healing prayers and energy as well.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you for sharing. All right. Anyone else? All right. Then let's go ahead and get going. I'm going to put all of you on mute, just so that we don't have any outside distractions while I'm going through the presentation. And if you have a question during the presentation, I don't usually look at the chat while I'm doing the PowerPoint presentation. So if you have a burning question, go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask. Or you can just save it, write it down, and save it to the end of the presentation. All right, here we go. Share my screen. All right. slideshow. There we go. All right, so here we are, Module 2 of the Whale School of Wealth. So I'm asking, put away all your distractions so you can stay focused. Turn off your other browsers, your phone if you're not using it to listen to the call, so that we can really tune in completely to what the whales have to share with us today. So give yourself the gift of this time to focus on you. So opening to abundance is an inside job. It is not something that comes from outside. It's not, yes, there are techniques, but it doesn't come from the outside world. It comes from within. It's all about mastering your inner game. So the whales tell us that it is time to step out of fear and claim your natural right to abundance. It is time. Us humans have wasted so much of our lives, and sometimes even I get frustrated at why did it take me so long to learn this stuff? How come I didn't get it when I was 16 or 25 or even 35? You know, how come it took so long? But it takes us humans, the good news is that we are waking up. We are realizing that it is time. So, and the whales say that there is enough of all resources on the planet right now for everyone to have all of their basic needs met and so much more. This includes food, water, energy, clothing, and money. So this picture of a rabbit being surrounded by a zillion carrots is a perfect example of there is enough. It is only what we've been taught and told and preached to that there is a limited supply. If you believe in God or universe or spirit, Mother Earth, oops, computer wants to change the slides, then you know that you've also got to believe that the universe, Mother Earth, God would not create a system where there was not enough for all of the life that is on her. So we have to trust that if we are here, then there is enough. So focus on what is, not what might happen or what might not happen. We humans are so bad about living in the future, worrying about what might happen, or bringing our past forward with us, saying, well, that never happened before, so why can I have it now? So the whales are asking us to focus on what is and nothing else. So there's only one thing that stops you from achieving your goals and having more than enough. And the whales tell us that one thing is mindset. Our mindset is what keeps us stuck. Like poor little Winnie the Pooh here is stuck in his little house, can't get out. And then he shifted his mindset and created an out-of-the-box way to get the honey that he was trying to find. So it's all about shifting our mindset. And heck, if Winnie the Pooh can do it, so can we. Oops. So shift your mindset from unworthy, undeserving, not enough, not good enough, to yes, I can easily have it all. And I commit to stepping out to do everything I need to do to make it happen. This is directly from the whales, this advice. And It is true. It is simply a shift of mindset. And I know that it's harder than it sounds, but it really is that simple. Just choose to believe. Let go of the old way of beliefs. And you and only you are in control of your financial abundance. It is a simple choice: struggle or ease, poverty or abundance. No matter what your outward circumstances appear to be. And I hear this over and over and over again. People saying, I'll never be able to make enough. I don't get paid enough. My job, there's a cap to what I can earn, to what I can receive. We have these limiting mindset, this limiting belief that all is, that there's a limit, that there is a block, that there is a cap. But really, there isn't. There isn't. Look at Bonnie Blue just was open and money came in and people actually paid her extra. So you just never know. And Grace told us in week 1 how she received an extra a bonus at work that wasn't even expected. So just because your paycheck and your salary says this amount doesn't mean that that's all there is. So what do you choose? Struggle or ease, poverty or abundance? Simply a choice. So choosing abundance means walking through your fears, walking through your limiting beliefs and your emotional blocks. And this is all about having the courage to keep moving forward, because when they're saying that someone that is brave and courageous is somebody who walks forward despite the fact that they have fears. Not that they don't have fears, they just keep moving forward despite them. And it means doing the work to make it happen. If you have a goal, it means being focused on taking steps to make that goal, not expecting it to happen without doing the work. And if you commit, stay on track, do the work, the doors to abundance will fly open all on their own, just by staying committed, staying focused, staying on the right path. So don't let yourself get complacent or fall back into old habits. Keep putting yourself out there, moving forward, even if it's not comfortable, because making changes sometimes isn't comfortable. Creating a new routine, changing our way of believing. Sometimes it's so innate we don't even realize it. Keep focused and working towards your goal until it is easy, comfortable, and your new way of being. So that means that it's really hard sometimes to stay focused. It's really easy to go back into the old way of being. It means that the old fears pop up and like to slow us down. We get distracted and go in too many different directions. We lose sight of our goal. And then we give up and we just go back to being the old way. Giving up is oftentimes happens just before the rewards start flowing in. So stay focused. Stay on the right path. And the whales tell us to find partners to hold you accountable. Build yourself a support team. You humans think you can do it all alone. It's much harder that way. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, it's really easy to get lost or to fall into the self-doubts. Use pod mentality. When you have many, a pod or team working together for the same goal, then the work is easier, more fun, and the rewards are much bigger for you all. So if you need help, need support in your business, then arrange and look for somebody within your business. Create a team pod mentality, not a competition or not a higher or lower than. One of the most amazing stories I ever heard was, remember that old book, Mutant Message Down Under, where this woman spent time with an Aboriginal tribe out in the outback, walking across the outback with basically nothing, and survived and found everything they needed every day. But I remember in the beginning of the book, she talked about how she went to this printing shop that was Aboriginal run. And what she realized is, of all the people, all the staff, all the employees, that there was this amazing sense of team and value for every single member of the team, every person who worked there. And that the manager, the owner, was no more important than the janitor. That they honored every single person's job and felt that the janitor was equally important as the owner. Because if things weren't clean, nobody else would be able to do their work. That is pod mentality, where everybody works together on an equal, respectful basis. And if you are an entrepreneur or a solopreneur working on your own, then that you can find a friend, or even within our group, you can find within everyone in this program. You can use the Facebook group, or if you're not in the group, contact me to see if I can find somebody who would like to be your accountability buddy, your pod mate, that you can meet apart from from our regular gatherings on a weekly basis or more, or a couple times a month, to really support each other in achieving your goals. So what are you waiting for? Make the decision to choose abundance now. Why not? Would you prefer to live in struggle or ease? It's a simple decision. It really is. So here are your action steps. Again, these come directly from the whales. Decide. Just make the decision to live in the flow of abundance. Ignore the fear, beliefs, and blocks. Move forward in spite of them. Create a pod to play together on this journey. Take action steps toward your goal. And those can be, once you set your goal, you want to break it down into small, actionable steps. You don't want to just say, I want to achieve this great goal. I want to have $1 million in my bank account. I want to have all the time in the world to do what I want. Then you take it small steps. Just break it down into small, easy steps that are achievable. And that could be, make a list of people to contact, or write an outline for what I want to present for my talk. Whatever it is, small steps, then you can feel a sense of accomplishment as you go, instead of this overwhelming goal, big goal, that then you give up on. But as you have achievable steps and you accomplish them, you can check them off the list, then you feel much, much better about yourself. You feel more confident, you're competent, you're making progress. And one little trick I learned about when you want to list out all the steps, and you can do this each day. Now, tomorrow, my to-do list is this. And so so tomorrow, instead of writing it out on a one big intimidating list, write them out on a little like 3x5 cards, one task per card. And then in the morning, you look at those cards and you sort them. This is the order I want to do them in. And you can play around, because once you've finished the one, you can physically take that card and put it in the done pile. And I know somebody who did that and kept their done pile until it got really big, and then they felt this really good sense of accomplishment. So then once you get done with one task and you go back to the pile of things to do, you can resort. It doesn't matter. But it's that nice sense of accomplishment of, yep, this is done over here, rather than crossing them off the list, which works too, but it's more of a sense of accomplishment to have them on these cards. So once you've taken some action steps, then open up to receive your rewards. And the final action step is to enjoy. All right, so that's the whale's advice. And so now I want to work through some of these things that are getting in our ways. So what old habits do you have that keep you from moving forward? Let's break through the wall of limiting beliefs. So these are some examples. Procrastination. This is one that I fight with all the time, is procrastination. I tend to procrastinate, and what I realized is the thing I procrastinate the most is the thing that I most need to do, or that will achieve the biggest results. So now I look at what makes me uncomfortable, what I need procrastinating, and that's the thing I start with. Avoidance. Avoidance is something a lot of us do. Do you avoid looking at your bank account because you don't want to see what's not there? Do you avoid doing your accounting? So avoidance is a really bad habit. Ignoring what's in front of you. So ignoring what's to be done right there, instead of being focused on, you get distracted and going in too many directions. Being reactive, not proactive. So when you're working on something that's going to achieve your goal, turn off your phone. Don't answer the phone. Oops. Turn off the phone, turn off the text messages, even turn off your email, all those notifications that distract us from that we react to, instead of being proactive and working on the project that's going to bring us what we're looking for. Focusing on what you don't have. So when you look at your bank account, or when you receive a check, do you think about, this is nice, but I wish I need more. It's not enough. I really could use more. This is great. I got $200, but I really need $2,000. Instead, just take a deep breath and be in gratitude for what we have, not what we don't have. So my computer is having a mind of its own today, so it's doing things all by itself. So the next one is blaming. Do we blame something for not having what we want? The circumstances. For me, I used to say all the time, the reason my tours, my retreats are not filling is because I live in Panama and it is not on the World Whale Watching map. It is not a high peak bucket list tourist destination. So those are really good excuses, and they are true. But I could stay and focus on that and blame that, or take action and do something to change it. And of course, it's really easy and very human to fall into blaming others. Somebody else got the job, got the raise I wanted. Somebody else got the bonus. Somebody else. Somebody else is stealing my clients. That is never productive. And the worst blame of all, of course, is blaming yourself. Blaming yourself. I should have done this. I should have done that. Why did I do that? So let go of all blame. And another bad habit is having undefined goals. Are you very clear about what your goals are? If they're pretty undefined, if you never actually sat down to write out what your goals are, write them out. Make a vision statement. What is it that you would like to achieve? Then it's a lot easier to make those action steps rather than just, yeah, someday I'd like to be wealthy. Someday I'd like to travel. Well, what does that look like? If someday you'd like to travel, what is that? Is that taking a trip to swim with humpback whales somewhere? Is that going to wine country in Italy? What is that? And just really describe it. And then maybe figure out how much it costs. And maybe even look at your frequent flyer miles. Maybe you already have enough. But if they're undefined, you'll never know. And of course, distractions from all over the world. Even if you have family, and you can go into your office and shut the door and say, hey, I need this time. Give me an hour. And of course, our phones, games, there's a gazillion ways today that are trying to distract us all the time. Another one is staying where it's comfortable. Sometimes when you have a big goal, we have to get a little uncomfortable. We have to put ourselves out there. And I know all of you are ready to get out of your comfort zone because you're in this program. You're ready to move forward, and that means stepping out of the way you have been being. And multitasking, that's a tough one because you really can't concentrate. And then this, again, in today's world, we're doing 8,000 things at once. And sometimes people are even rewarded in our society for multitasking. But really, if you really want to concentrate and get something done well, you have to stay focused on that one thing, not do 2, 3, 4 things at once. And there's a study that says that if you get distracted from your activity, it takes you an average of 20 minutes to get back focused. That's a long time. That's a lot of wasted time that you could have really knocked out what you were working on. So it's time to replace these bad habits with some good ones. So create clear, achievable goals. Write them out. Make a consistent and productive plan for each morning. So before you end your day, you can write out that list of action steps, that your to-do list for the next day. Again, turn off all those distractions. Challenge yourself. Step outside the box and make time for self-care and exercise. So you really want to take care of yourself and create a balanced life, not just all work, work, work. Yes, I've heard of some people who are doing really well in their life, in their business, and making a lot of money, but they've totally sacrificed self-care, which includes family time, rest time, exercise. And I this is from a friend of mine who works who is in the big coaching world. She's one of the big leaders in the coaching world, and she was talking about how another coach she's aware of is a really great coach to get people to get into making six figures in their business. But she told me there were a number of people who made a lot of money, but had divorces, had cancer, had miscarriages, major things happen in their lives because all they focused on was the money. So you also want to embrace failure. Look at, was it Thomas Edison who invented the light bulb? And how many times did it take? There was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of failures of trying to make the light bulb before he achieved success. But each failure is one more step to success, because you learn something every time something you do doesn't work. It's like, okay, that didn't work. So what can I change? How can I make it better? What can I do that will get me closer to success? So embrace it. Don't avoid it. And take responsibility for yourself, for your actions. Don't wait for anybody else. Now, it's the opposite of blaming, is taking responsibility. So if you're mad at yourself, okay, I screwed up. I'm gonna learn from that, and I'm gonna move forward. Be responsible. And ignore the fears, because they'll still crop up. I don't know anybody who doesn't have fears pop up. It's normal. It's human. It happens. So just keep moving forward despite them. And be persistent. Don't give up just before the reward comes flowing in. And as we talked about last week, be grateful. Be in gratitude. And that gratitude journal is a great way to remind yourself. And sometimes when I sit down to do my gratitude journal, I'm really good about doing it every morning. But sometimes I don't start out being grateful. The other day, I was actually feeling sad about some things. And at the night when I went to bed, and then I woke up and that sadness was still there. And I'm like, I don't want to do my gratitude journal, but I did it anyway. And when I got done, and I just started, okay, what can I be grateful for? Just anything. Okay, and I came up with my 10. And sometimes it's okay. I repeat ones from days before. And I felt so much better afterwards, just by doing that one little exercise. And it doesn't take very long. It takes like 10 minutes to write down 10 things. And surrounding yourself with positive people is a great way to stay positive. If everybody around you is a negative Nelly and just saying is always kind of like Eeyore, everything's bad, everything's gonna, the roof is falling, the sky is falling, there's never enough, that's not gonna set you up to succeed. That's gonna soak in. So you want to surround yourself with people who are supportive. So let's think about some of the limiting beliefs that you might have. So I've listed a few. You probably might have some different ones, maybe some of these. So not good enough. And I'll say, when I started writing these, I started writing them by, I am not good enough. And then I went, no, I'm not even going to write that as an example. I changed it to not good enough instead of I am, because I didn't want to put that out into the universe. So not good enough. There is not enough. Money is the root of all evil. If you do something good, you cannot get paid well. That was one I used to have years ago when I was training animals for educational programs, outreach programs, teaching children and respect for wildlife. I used to, and it was even a 501c3. It was a nonprofit organization, not a business. So I used to I used to think that if I did something good in the world, you could never earn decent money. Until I read about the head of the, was it the Red Cross, and that he was making hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm like, wait a minute. You can make money and do something good. Another limiting belief, it's too late to change. I've been doing it all my life. It's too late. Not smart enough. You feel like if you didn't go to college, or you don't have that degree, or you don't know enough about that subject, that's one that comes up. Horrible money manager. That was one I used to say all the time. I'm a horrible money manager. So now one of the things I write in my gratitude journal, and numbers are a challenge in my brain, but in my gratitude journal, sometimes I write, I am grateful that I am an excellent money manager. I just turn it around. Unworthy or undeserving. Most of us have those. That's very common. Not being persistent. Being easily distracted. Too busy. Being too busy all the time. Too busy to get anything done. My life is too busy. And things will never change. It's always been like this. Why would it ever change? So it's time to break free of those limiting beliefs. You are good enough. And there is enough. There's always enough. Money is beautiful. So many people have a problem with money on its own, that it's bad, that it is evil, that you must be greedy to love money. Money is just a way that we reward ourselves. The whales, their money is krill or fish. We just use money as a step to get what we need. What we need. If you do something good, you can be well rewarded. It's never too late to change. Because it really isn't. You are more than smart enough. You are an excellent money manager. You are worthy and deserving. You are persistent, never giving up. You are never too busy. And things will change for the better. So you can take these or come up with your own new beliefs. And your card for today is Let Go of Fear. This is from my Wisdom from the Sea deck. Great White Shark tells us, stop clinging to fear, choose love instead. The world will become a softer, happier place. All right, so now it's time to do a little visualization, all about moving forward, recalibrating our mindset. So if you want to get yourselves comfortable, and if you're okay with it, go ahead and shut your eyes. Take some deep, relaxing breaths. As you're breathing, just allow your body to relax. Just let go of any tensions or stresses or worries or emotions that may have come up. And just imagine that you're somewhere out in nature, beautiful spot. Maybe it's a meadow or a forest, the beach, in the desert. You create it as you wish. You have the power. And right next to you appears, sense this giant presence. This is your personal whale spirit guide who is here to support you on completely opening up to abundance. Look over at your whale spirit guide and look into his or her huge eye. Just see the wisdom. There's an abundance of wisdom behind that eye. When you look into that eye, you see yourself reflected there. And instead of seeing yourself as you see yourself, in that reflection, you see yourself as your whale spirit guide sees you. And now it's like looking at a movie as you're gazing into this huge whale eye. And in this movie, inside the eye, you see yourself living up to your fullest potential, achieving all of your goals. And see what those are. Whether it's taking amazing trips, buying a beautiful home, having all the time in the world to do whatever you want. You can even look at your bank account and see how huge the amount, the number of dollars, the amount of money in your bank may even be bigger than you have even imagined. It doesn't matter how it got there. It's yours to do with as you wish. It's more than enough. And the whale sees you as so powerful, easily moving forward to achieve these goals. And now the whale moves a little closer and you reach out with your hand and you put your hand on the whale's body. You feel the warmth and smoothness of the skin. And then your hand starts to tingle a little bit. And you merge. Feel yourself melting into and merging with your whale spirit guide. Just really take a moment and feel yourself, your small human body, expanding to the size of this whale, becoming whale. Your body is abundant. You are now, as the whale does, representing abundance for others. How does that feel? And feel your body from the tip of your rostrum or nose all the way far back behind you to your tail, the end of your tail flukes. And this huge body. Your hands are now pectoral fins. And just really feel what it feels like to be the whale who never worries about where its next meal comes from. Feel the sense of ease. And take that on into your own body. Notice how the whale has 0 limiting beliefs, 0 fears. It just moves forward. Even if it's spending months at a time migrating and in areas where there is no food, there's always a sense of knowing, a sense of control, a sense of power, that whenever the whale needs it, it will be able to find exactly what it needs. Just really anchor this feeling into your own body. Breathe it in. And show your gratitude to your whale spirit guide for gifting you what it feels like to actually represent abundance, to be abundance. And now you feel that tingling again, and you find yourself back in your human body, standing next to this whale with your hand still on its body, on its side. And now what you're feeling and what you're getting from the whale is this honor and respect for you as a human that was loaded down with all this baggage of fears and doubts and limiting beliefs. Yet you are moving forward. The whale has none of those, so it's easy. But you're doing it even with that baggage that's attempting to weigh you down. Feel the respect coming from the whale for you and all the forward movement you have made to this point forward. And now take a good look at your whale spirit guide and see if you can see what color it is, what species it is, its size, and see if you can get your whale spirit guide's name. And trust whatever you receive. And before we leave from our time with our whale spirit guide, know that you can reconnect with him or her at any moment. Whenever you're struggling, whenever those doubts come out, those fears, those limiting thoughts, just ask for your whale spirit guide to help bring you back to this place of literally being abundance as you are right now. All right, everybody, give yourself some gentle touch, wiggle your toes and fingers, and come on back when you're ready. All right. So your homework for this week is to make a list of your limiting beliefs and unproductive habits, and then totally rephrase them as I did today. Choose new, focused, and productive habits. And find an accountability buddy or a pod. And set your goals. Write them out, where you can see them every day. Write out your vision, write out your goal, and post it somewhere where you can take a look at it, and then list the action steps that you can take to achieve your goal. And then if you are in the Facebook group, post your celebrations or any questions and challenges. And we will see you next week for Module 3. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and unmute you guys and see if anybody's got any questions. All right, how's everybody doing?
Fine.
Wonderful.
Good. Does anybody have any questions, comments?
I have a comment.
Yeah, Mary?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Just before you started the meditation, I suddenly remembered, like years ago, I was invited to this event by the organizer, and she promised me that I would be the only animal communicator there. It was a big fundraiser. So you're basically volunteering your time. And I was totally fine with that. And I get there to find out there's another woman who's an animal communicator. And then I thought, you know, I just need to let go of that. It doesn't really matter. And then it was interesting to watch her. She was really trying to pull people in. She had like a bowl of water by her table. She came over to talk to me to find out like what was, like I could feel her really pulling people. And I realized what had happened was when I had let go, she was like in this desperate need to have people to come to her table because I was really, really busy. But it was just because I had let go that all this happened and all unfolded. But I could see it all happening in front of me, and it was kind of entertaining actually to watch what she was doing to sort of really try to get these people to come over to her. It was pretty funny. So.
Oh, that's a great example, and I love that you were able to let go and not get into this, you know, competition game or the fear of she's stealing my people, et cetera, et cetera. And it is very entertaining to watch people in that mindset. And it was a perfect example of, you know, the more you want, the more you're actually pushing away what you're trying to attract. So that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's great. Anybody else? Question or comment? Well, I had, as I was leading the meditation, and I do a lot of body movements, whether your eyes are closed and my eyes are closed, I still do these body movements, and I talk with my hands a lot, probably from being a former animal trainer where I had to do it on movies and everything was hands only. Well, I expanded my hands into pectoral fins and knocked water all over my desk. I had an abundance of water on my desk. Fortunately, did not go on the computer.
Thank goodness.
Oh, Anne?
Yes.
Can you just repeat the homework again? I didn't get number 2 and 3.
Sure. Let me pull it up for myself. Do you want me to share it so you can write it? Would that be easier? Okay. Sure. And I will, when I send out the recording, I will send out the slides and the list of the homework too. But all right, let's go back. There it is. 2 is finding an accountability buddy. or pod. Whether that's within this group, which is great, because then you know what you guys are going through and working on, or somebody that you know will support you. And then number 3 is to set your goals. To write out your goal and then break it down into achievable action steps. And whether that's a to-do list or getting those little 3x5 cards that I think is such a cool little trick to do.
Yeah.
Did anybody else need more time with this? We're good. All right. All right, anything else? Anybody has any comments, anything you'd like to share? All right.
Thank you. Your meditations are so powerful.
Oh, thank you. I never know what's going to come through. So
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to go the direction it did today, but it did. So it was what was needed. I just trust that it's all.
Do you have a meditation CD, Anne? Because I would love a meditation CD from you.
I don't, but what I will do is, like I did last week, I will separate out the audio for this meditation.
Wonderful.
And I will, so that I'll send you the replay of the call and the whole thing. And then I will separate out just the meditation so that you can just listen to that anytime you want. It'll be like an MP3 kind of thing.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You are so welcome. All right. Anything else?
Thank you, Ann.
Thanks.
You are
Thank you,
so
Anne.
welcome. I will see you next week.
Love you.
And was it Tana? Was it what you said about saving it as a screenshot? Yes. Oh no, Denise. Save the homework as a screenshot. Good idea. All right, Tana's already buying my meditation CD that I haven't created yet. I love it. I love that.
Me too.
All right, I'll add that to my list of projects.
You could,
Wonderful.
I
and
do
you,
have a number of them that I could easily just separate out and put into something. Yeah,
you could take all these visualizations that you've done and just make a CD of them.
I can. I absolutely can do that. Yes, because I do have a ton that I have saved on the computer. So repurposing, I love it. All right, see, look, you guys are bringing me abundance. I love it. Sharing the wealth, that's what it's all about. All right, gang, thank you, and have an amazing, prosperous, abundant day and week. And I will see you guys in the Facebook group, and those who are not in there, we'll see you next week.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you, Anne. Thanks for
Good week.
You're welcome.
Lots
Thank
of love.
you. Bye.
love and fun day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.